You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Choice After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Choice After Show.
Hi, Bing is for Dune, and we're doing another after show right here, right now on AfterBuzz TV. And of course, we're talking about our favorite new celebrity dating show, The Choice. Season 1, Episode 2. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and we're missing a couple girls today, but we're still joined by my lovely co-host.
Yes, Erika Viera. I'm back. We had a few people that dropped out a little bit, but they'll be back next week.
Yeah, so we're really excited for that.
We're holding the fort down.
We'll miss you guys while you're gone. So, a little recap. What do you think of tonight, like overall?
You know, overall, I have to say that I think I enjoyed the show better this week than last week.
Yeah.
I think there's just something about it. You're like, you know what? This is just fun. It's just mindless. It's just one of those shows that when you get home from work, you pop on the TV and you just don't want to think and you just want to watch something.
Exactly. You want to laugh.
Yeah.
And exactly.
You want to laugh at them, with them. You have to laugh at yourself for watching it and just enjoying it.
And
so.
I'm kind of wondering, do the producers like funnel alcohol into these girls before they go out on stage? Because some of them just seem like they're falling all over the place.
They had a little bit too many, not just appetizers backstage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I would think that it adds to the show of kind of them being a little bit loose and silly. I mean, it does seem like a lot of the girls that they bring on the show, some of them seem like wannabe actors and models, but a lot of them, which is actually kind of cool, don't seem like they're in that kind of a background. You know, one of the girls was a nurse. I mean, they all seem like interesting backgrounds. So this is something that might be really new to them.
And it's out of their comfort zone, clearly.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls were very nervous tonight. But we started off the show by seeing the dates. I don't even know if we should call them that. The dates from last week with Pauly D, Romeo, Jason, and Jeremy. And, well, Erika, what did you think about these dates?
You can't call it a dating show, I guess, without dates. So in some ways, they had to throw some out there. I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
I was really disappointed. I was kind of hoping for this. I wasn't going to expect a love connection from this show, but something more substantial than a couple pictures. And I think, what was one of the lines? Romeo and Lisa, not only did they share desserts, but they shared phone numbers. And they had this picture montage of him shoveling whipped cream into her mouth.
I know. That was hilarious. Actually, honestly, that was like the funniest part of the show, I think, those dates at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, really? Go-karting? Like,
we all turned to each other. I mean, Phil was in there watching with us, and we turned to each other and we were like, wait, is this a date? Because we watched it and then we had to rewind because they were so short.
It went by so fast.
Yeah.
I know, it was pretty funny. But actually, what I had heard that Pauly D had tweeted that it was super awkward for him to watch the show because he has a new girlfriend.
That's the same with Jeremy. He actually is dating Jessica Lowndes, I think is how you pronounce her name, from 90210.
Okay.
So he tweeted last week that awkward moment when you sign up for a dating show and then 3 months later when it airs, you have a girlfriend that you're in love with.
Yeah. I guess Pauly D said the same thing. And so, I mean.
No love connection.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like there are any love connections on this one, but.
Well, we did predict last week that Romeo and Lisa might get together, and at least they exchanged phone numbers.
And what does that mean? You know, I mean, who knows? Was that it? Was there a call? Was there a follow-up call?
She can text stalk him.
Was there a, oh, I hope you got home okay? Was there anything, you know?
Well, that was the other disappointing thing is we found out that the dates happen right after the show.
How weird is that? And yeah, I guess they just run off and they go on their date and that's it. It's a wrap.
I mean, it's great that the dates aren't just coffee, but at the same time, it's
I would have liked to have seen something beyond photos. I would have liked to see even a
conversation.
Yeah, 15, 20-second vignette or like a montage of them talking or having their date, because you actually kind of wonder, are they just posing for pictures or did they actually go on a date? That crossed my mind, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I thought that too. So moving on after the disappointing dates, we had our introduction to the 4 guys from this week, and it was Seth Wescott was the first guy. He's a gold medalist, and he was in the 2006 and 2010 Winter Olympics for snowboarding. What did you think of him?
You know, he was new to me. I'd never heard of him before. Actually, physically, he kind of reminded me of that guy on the... He actually reminded me of that guy on The Office. I don't know if you saw the movie The Office. The
movie?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the TV show.
No, not it's a movie, Office Space.
Oh, Office Space. Okay.
The guy anyways, the actor that plays the boss. He just looked just like him to me. I don't remember his name. But.
I actually thought that he was like Jeremy Bloom 2.0.
Really?
I mean...
Yeah,
Olympic, Winter Olympics, brown hair, like kinda same build. Looking for a sincere girl.
He seemed a little bit older.
I don't know. I thought that I couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah.
No, the other guy was way cuter.
I mean, they were both cute. They're not unattractive guys by any means.
No, but this week he looked a little older to me. But he wouldn't have been my pick.
Okay. Well, the second guy that we were introduced to, who may be your pick, Parker Young.
He's cute.
And I have to say, I love that name. He's an actor. He's also a model. I think they said for Calvin Klein.
Yeah, Polo, Ralph Lauren. Or I guess that's how he got his start, is by modeling. And then he's in Suburgatory.
Yeah.
He was pretty cute. He seemed to be a favorite amongst the girls.
I was wondering how old he was. He looked very young.
Really?
Yeah. He couldn't have been older than 25. I could Google it, but yeah.
He seemed to me to be in his
such a baby face.
He seemed to me to be in his late 20s. I thought he was closer to 28, 29.
Okay. Well, we'll dispute it. I'll figure it out after the show.
Now I really want to know how old he is. Well, if somebody knows, call in.
Yeah, seriously. 424-256-1729. Please let us know.
How old is he? The mysterious partner.
Yeah. Maybe Adrian Watchtower-Base, if you could Google that for us right now. Parker Young, find out his age and tweet it to us.
Yes. And we'll find out who's right.
Exactly. Maybe put a wager on it. But
this mug. I love yellow mugs.
And our third guy on the show was Psycho Mike.
I love Psycho Mike. You never heard of him before, right?
I've never heard of him before. And he's from Loveline. He does the show with Dr. Drew.
Yeah, he was on K-Rock on the Kevin and Bean show in the morning. Yeah. And I loved him then. Okay. And he's so funny. Yeah. He was actually one of my favorite parts of the Kevin and Bean morning show on K-Rock. And then it's funny because when listening to radio, you don't really know what they look like. Yeah. And on the radio show, they're always making fun of him all the time. Like Kevin and Bean are always making fun of Psycho Mike. And then the first time I saw a picture of him, I was like, he's cute. I think he's really cute.
He's attractive.
He's a Latin kind of type. I think he's really cute. I like him.
A good-looking guy. He was very vulgar on the show tonight.
But that's how he is.
I know. Yeah. I was expecting if he was this Loveline radio show host that's
kind of his thing. Okay. He's very honest and yeah,
a little too honest.
Yeah. But.
Anyways, moving on to the fourth judge. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Joe Jonas?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, apparently he was in this this boy band like a couple years ago.
He's got a couple brothers. They all look alike.
Now he's a solo artist. I don't know. He's okay.
I'll be totally honest to say that I don't know much about the Jonas Brothers other than the fact that they're brothers and I think they're virgins and
they did take they had purity rings like most of the Disney stars. And
they're affiliated with
I don't know if they
Taylor
followed through
Swift,
with that.
one of them? No?
Joe Jonas did date Taylor Swift, and he broke up with her via text message.
And she wrote a song about it.
And she wrote a song about him just like she does every other
guy.
Oh my gosh, we have our answer about Parker.
What is it? What is it?
Are you ready?
Drum roll.
He's 24 years old.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God, I was wrong. Okay. I can admit when I'm wrong. But
I actually thought he was younger than 24, so.
Yeah, well, but you're closer. It's like The Price is Right, you know?
So he and I could date because we're the same age.
Yeah.
I'm 23.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, Joe Jonas, he's kind of like dated around Hollywood. He's dated Ashley Greene from the Twilight series.
Okay.
He's been linked to a lot of people. Demi Lovato.
That's right.
Taylor Swift.
So he doesn't need much help finding dates.
No, and that's one of the reasons I was surprised that he was on the show.
Well, let's be honest. None of these guys have any problem finding dates.
Yeah.
So, you know. Maybe it's to be exposed to different kinds of girls that maybe in the Hollywood nightclubs they wouldn't be meeting.
Yeah. So who would be your pick if you were?
Well, my pick would have to be Psycho Mike.
You like?
I
Psycho
love
Mike?
Psycho Mike. I'm just a fan of his. I've been a fan of his for a long time. So he's hilarious. What about you? What's your pick?
I'd probably have to say Parker.
Parker.
Yeah. I think he's cute.
He'd be my number 2.
Yeah. And
he's really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, a lot of the girls seem to be digging Joe. And
well, he's the most famous out of all of them.
Yeah.
I mean it makes sense.
It was kind of crazy though. I mean, the first round, they were just pouncing on him. I feel like every girl that he turned around for just went to him.
And he seemed a little bit more selective than the other guys and who he turned around to. To who he pulled his love handle for. Can we talk about that, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a name is a love handle?
The love handle. I think they're kind of trying to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, which is actually great. I just love the fact that they don't take themselves too seriously and they're just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. What did Kat say? He grabbed his love handle or something, and Mike was pretty gross about that.
Later, yeah, Mike said, "I usually only pull my love handle in the shower." Oh my gosh!
And you can see Kat's face. She's like,
She almost dropped her mic.
Yeah, well, maybe he had a couple drinks too before the show.
I almost spit out my water when I heard that.
Speaking of drinks, you know, I have to say, this is the kind of show that I think deserves a drinking game.
I know.
It would be a really fun drinking game.
We should figure something out.
We need to figure some kind of drinking game. Or if somebody has a good idea of a drinking game, like definitely call in or tweet in or something. Like
let us know.
Post. Yeah, let us know. Because this is one of those shows that you got to watch with friends.
Exactly.
You got to be in a group. You could talk, you know, bad and good about the girls and the guys. It's more of like a party atmosphere kind of a show.
I always feel giddy like after I watch this show.
Yeah.
Always, all 2 times. But it's just like, I feel like this little kid. Like, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And it deserves a drinking game.
Yeah.
And a good one at that.
Exactly. So the first round, I mean, it was very similar to last week's where they had, you know, about 15 girls, a little bit less. I think it was 14 this week. Mm-hmm. And all of the girls were very attractive. I think
I think they were actually better looking this week than last week. Yeah.
There were a lot of gymnasts and dancers in the group.
Yeah, there was a gymnast. She looked like a gymnast when she walked out. I mean, what do you think? Because when she walked out, she had like the gymnast body.
I mean, a lot of them were very fit, very muscular. Mm-hmm. More so than us. I mean, like, I have no upper body strength.
Hey.
You do have some guns. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do yoga. I can stand upside down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I might not look like it. These little twigs might not look like it, but there's some muscle in there.
Yeah. So were there any standouts for you in this round as for girls?
Maybe you go first.
I mean, last week I feel like I had very distinct standouts. This week it was Shannon, just because she was the first one out there and she had that bright yellow dress.
Yes, she was actually very pretty.
Yeah.
I thought she was one of the prettier ones.
And she also had a lot of confidence when she came out. Like, a lot of the girls this week, more so than last week, were very nervous.
Yes.
I mean,
and you could just hear it.
Who was
poor
the girl?
girls.
Morgan. Whoa.
Is she the one who talked about her dad taking her on the Black Diamond?
She was the one. She was the super nervous one that Seth picked first.
That's right.
She could barely get a word out. You said it looked like she was about to cry.
It just was so awkward watching her because he picked her.
Yeah.
And then she all of a sudden she started talking about how scared she was about snowboarding. She said, I like to ski, but by the way, I'm scared about snowboarding. And I went one time with my dad and he went on a black diamond. And you're like, what the hell?
It was uncomfortable to watch.
It was really, and you could kind of see his face too. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
I think he was nice. So he's like, yeah, snowboarding's hard. I thought that was cute. He's like, yeah, snowboarding's hard.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it is.
I'm always impressed with how a lot of these girls spell their names too. Morgan with an extra E, and then I think there was Blair with an extra E. Kiana. Latika.
Carrier.
Carrier. Like Perry.
Perry. Maybe that's a prerequisite on the show. You gotta have an odd name. Actually, one of the other standouts was the girl. She seemed really young.
That girl?
The girl, yeah. the virgin. I thought that's like, whoa, okay.
What was her name? Kimberly.
I think she was trying to play up the whole V card thing with the Jonas brother, and he didn't really go for it at the end, but
I thought he did. But anyways,
no. Well, at the end.
Yeah. And then I thought another standout for me was at the very end, and they did this last week. The last guy to pick a girl has this two girls that they each get 30 seconds to talk, and then he turns around and picks one of them. And this week there was Becky who kind of took a jab at the other girl, which I was impressed by. She said, I'm actually your age to Parker, who's 24.
24, by the way, to clear up any misconceptions.
Yeah. And it was a low blow, but I think that's what won him over.
Yeah, but she was pretty sassy.
Yeah.
She was pretty sassy. I think at first it won him over, but I think it ended up hurting her in the long run.
Yeah. So I have a question. If you're trying to learn how to be sassy, maybe you can buy a book somewhere, like on Amazon, maybe?
That's a great place to find a book on sass.
Yeah. So if you want to be sassy, you can head on over to AfterBuzzTV.com. Click on our link for Amazon if you're thinking about purchasing anything from Amazon in the near future. We get a little kickback from it, and it helps us keep our lights on here, helps us bring you all these shows for free. So make sure you head on over to AfterBuzz TV. Click Amazon.
Amazon's awesome.
I know. Purchase all your stuff there.
Anything order over $25 is always free shipping. I mean, it's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You should always shop there.
Yes. I know I do.
Yeah.
I do. All right.
Yeah. So moving on. So the guys they each filled up their three girls, I guess their team.
What do they call it? It's like their team. Do they call it a team or their little boxes? Their little
their choices.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
Let's just call it that. Their choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had their three choices.
Well, stay consistent, you know.
And who was the first guy to pick? I think it was Seth. Yes. So he had Morgan, Sarah, and Blair.
Yes.
And in this round, it's the speed round. So they had 15 seconds to talk to the girls, ask them questions. The girls got to ask them questions.
Can I say that this is like the most awkwardest part of the show?
You think?
Yeah. I mean, the questions that they shoot out, just what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite thing?
Yeah.
Or do you believe in love at first sight?
At least we didn't have many what's your favorite color questions this week, because we know that people are only compatible if they have the same favorite color. Clearly.
That's true. Yeah. Like, I mean, you like blue? I draw the line at blue. I'm sorry. I'm not picking you because you like blue.
Well, it sucks for me. I can never find a boyfriend because no one else likes turquoise. So.
Oh, well, you got to find an appreciator of turquoise, not necessarily a lover of turquoise.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is very quick, but I feel like we always kind of know that the guys are going to not choose the girl that's like not doing it for them.
Yeah, it's looks. Like we talked about last week, it's looks. But you almost have to look at this like it's just fun. It's just funny, and how the celebrities kind of react to it and stuff. But I think what was it that Seth's girl? Another standout for me was the rocker.
Oh yeah, Blair with an E.
Blair with an E, yes.
She could hold her own. She was talking about Iron Maiden, and that's things that are actually relatable. Like they could form a connection off of what's your favorite rock band.
Well, that's what caused him to turn around at the beginning.
And he also said, or she said, rather, that she liked skiing or snowboarding, one of the two.
Yeah.
So, she said after actually he turned his chair in the first round that she had been snowboarding in somewhere in Colorado.
Park City, Utah, and she learned actually, I think in Canada. And I think she asked him.
You're just naming off different places in Canada, Park City, Utah.
That's what she said. She learned in Canada. I've always wanted to go skiing in Canada.
I know, right?
That would be an amazing.
It would be so cool.
Yeah, Park City's an amazing place to ski.
I've been to Park City.
I love
skiing there, and then I think I just did Breckenridge a couple months ago.
Yes, I've been there too. It's fantastic.
Love it. Gorgeous.
Anyways,
off topic. But anyways, so Seth had his choice of 3 girls, and I was actually surprised he kept around Morgan, who was the girl that was really nervous. And he said that it's because he's nervous too, and it's so nice to see that she was,
real.
Exactly. And that's a good thing to have, people coming on the show, like, you don't know what kind of crazy people you're gonna get. So,
and I would think also, like, for Seth, he isn't like an actor or somebody that is in the public eye in that way.
Yeah.
Granted, he's an athlete, and he is in the public eye, but not so much as a performer. So, and a lot of times athletes are very introverted.
Yeah, and he seemed kind of nervous to be up there too.
Yeah, no, he did, because it's not his. It's not his place of comfort. It's not his comfort zone. He's an athlete. I mean, he especially a skier. It's a very solo sport. It's not like he's on a team.
He's a snowboarder.
Or I'm snowboarding. Yeah. It's still.
But either way.
Yeah, either way,
those dark goggles block out all the people that are watching.
I'm sure he also knows how to ski as well. Yeah. But it's a solo sport. You tend to be more of an introvert. You're a lot of times snowboarders and skiers, or you see him on the mountain with their headphones in, listening to music. So maybe that's his personality, and he kind of sensed that in her.
So he ended up eliminating Sarah.
Yeah, she's the one who her father's a pilot.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, what's your favorite place to travel?" So maybe I guess she didn't
said
do it for
South
him.
America.
He said South America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love South America. I just actually came back from Rio de Janeiro.
You did?
Yes, it's a fantastic place to travel.
Yeah.
I'd
like to check that out.
You should.
So moving on to our next guy, Parker.
Yes.
I love that name.
24-year-old Parker.
I know. So he had Shannon, Melanie, and Becky.
Yes. Any standouts for you of those 3 girls?
Well, I said earlier, Shannon, she had that yellow dress on, and then Becky was the one who was very sassy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And those
Melanie.
Those are the 2 he ended up narrowing it down to.
Well, he, in the first round, was so quick to pull his love handle.
His love handle.
He was just like jumping the gun, and he had 2 girls before some of the guys even had one. So, but
this was the round where Becky said, "Be quiet." She told him to be quiet and started asking questions.
And then he just stopped talking.
I think he was like,
the last 5 seconds, he was just like,
he didn't like that.
No, and he turned around.
Girl, you don't tell me what to do. He did not like that.
And I was surprised because when Kat asked him to eliminate one girl, I thought that Becky was a goner.
So did I. I did too, for sure.
And then he threw us for a loop and kicked out Melanie.
Well, it keeps it interesting and keeps us on our toes.
I know. On the edge of our seats.
Yes. Who's he going to pick?
Exactly. And then the third guy was Michael?
Psycho Mike.
Yeah.
You got to call him Psycho Mike. There's a reason why they call him Psycho Mike.
When they said Psycho Mike at the beginning of the show, I was like, what? What is his name?
Psycho.
I thought they were speaking a different language.
And whose last name is Mike?
Yeah. I mean, my last name's Kelley. I can't really give him.
That's true. Yeah, but Kelley is more common of a last name than Mike.
Michael.
But it's Psycho. They call him Psycho Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Psycho Mike.
Psycho Mike. He was also on Dancing with the Stars, too.
Oh, yes, he was.
I don't think he made it too far. Yeah.
Not as far as Maria Menounos.
No, certainly not.
But anyways, his 3 girls, Megan, Carrier, like Perrier.
With a K?
And Kiana.
Like Donna, but with a K-ya.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's taking it too far. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, so his 3 girls...
Any
what did you
standouts?
think? No, not really for me. I mean, Carrier, just because of Perrier and she was a gymnast, I thought she might go far. He picked her because, I mean, she was very like spunky in the first round where she said like, oh, you only picked me because I was flexible, right?
Yes.
And then she said something about getting a master's or getting a degree in something. And he's like, oh, I don't like smart girls.
Yeah, he's like, stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
But she's the one who he asked her, "Are you a Padres fan?" Because she went to San Diego State, and she's like, "No, I'm a
Red Sox fan."
And he's like, "No."
And then he ended up eliminating her because he said that he compared being a Red Sox fan to being a terrorist.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people
he has a strong opinion about Red Sox fans, but I'm a Padres fan myself. What about you? What's your favorite?
I'm from Chicago, so I like the Cubs.
Okay.
My family's all Indians fans, so Cleveland, yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I'm an Angels fan first and then a Padres fan second.
Are you from?
I'm from LA, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not a Dodgers fan.
I was going to say if you're from LA.
Not. It's either Angels or Dodgers. And I was born in Orange County, so I'm Angels.
Maybe they'll get a baseball player on the show soon.
Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Yes. Ooh.
So moving on to our last guy, Joe Jonas.
Yes.
He had Amanda Latika, which I'm probably butchering her name, and Kimberly. That's an easy one to pronounce.
Yes.
What about standouts for you?
Well, like I said, Latika, the virgin.
That was okay.
Yeah. So she's the one. She was cute too. She was pretty. And Kimberly and Amanda.
Nothing for you. Okay.
No, what about you?
Yeah, I thought Latika was really pretty. Mm-hmm. And
she was pretty.
I mean, that virgin question, that was just like it caught him off guard.
He was shocked.
And I was kind of surprised that he was shocked because he did take a vow of purity, right? I mean, he had a purity ring. He and his brother said that they were going to wait until marriage. So you would think that he would be prepared for a question like that in everyday life, but maybe he took off his ring, or he was
probably just surprised. Maybe he saw her and didn't think that kind of a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Yeah. He seemed surprised. But, now that we're talking about that, I wonder if they specifically cast various girls in mind for some of the guys.
I think they kind of cast characters. Like they just want a girl who's outgoing, pretty, good looking, and
or through the interview process, like as they're like talking to them and they get their interests and things like that. And someone like Latika mentions that, it's like, okay, like that might be something for them. It's like, all right, we're gonna put you on this episode with Joe Jonas.
Obviously, they put more Italians on the last show because of Pauly D.
Yes. Well, no, this show there was a girl that spoke Italian.
There was,
remember?
And then there was a girl that spoke Latina.
Yeah, yeah. She spoke Buenvenidos. I speak Latina.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Didn't learn that one in school, but anyways, one of the other questions that stood out for me in this round, going back to Parker, obviously. Because I have to go back to Parker, was one of the girls asked him boxers or briefs.
Oh, yeah.
And he said...
Boxer briefs.
Well, he said briefs at first, and then he corrected himself, the Calvin Klein model that he is.
That's true.
He has to represent boxer briefs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Calvin Klein makes all kinds of underwear.
I know.
But the guys look the best in the boxer briefs. What's your choice, boxers or briefs?
What? Me?
A preference.
I don't wear boxers.
No, for a guy.
Oh, boxer briefs, obviously. I mean, that's the only way to go.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, so moving on, I have to plug if you're probably watching this either on AFTERBUZZTV.com or you can catch us on YouTube, you can also subscribe to us on iTunes and show us a love. Make sure you tell a friend, leave us comments, rate us, because we'd really love to see how we're doing. It'd be great to have some feedback from the fans.
That would be great.
So. Yay! Okay.
We're having fun, and we hope you are too.
Yeah, watching the show or listening.
Yes.
So moving on to round 3. What did you think?
Well,
this is where it gets juicy,
Yes.
and they get to ask the girls one question.
Yes.
One of the girls is in back with her headphones on, so she can't hear the question and think of an answer.
And then the other girl goes out there and
Does her
she's by
best.
herself
Yes.
too, which is kind of nice. She gets a little bit more than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So
So the first question that was asked was Seth asked, or rather Kat asked for Seth, why do you deserve the well-rounded gold medal award?
well, no, yeah, she asked what do you deserve a gold medal?
Oh,
Because Seth
okay.
had won 2 gold medals.
Okay.
So if you were to win one, what would you win it in?
Okay.
And one of the girls' answers was being well-rounded.
Well-rounded, okay.
Yeah.
And so Morgan went first.
Yes, and sure.
What did you think of her answer?
I don't know. It's like one of those answers you say when you're like so nervous.
Yeah.
and my gold medals and my kindness.
She was so nervous throughout the show, so she deserves a gold medal
just for being on that show.
Exactly. Like
Let's give it to her.
A round of applause for Morgan with an E.
Yes, Morgan with an E. Yes, gold medal for being on The Choice for sure, and not getting picked too.
I know, that was heartbreaking.
So at least that's a consolation.
Yeah. So Seth had his choice, and he chose Blair with an E.
Yes, Blair with an E.
And they did seem to have more of a connection.
She was a rocker girl.
She was a rocker girl. I mean, both
that.
of them kind of like had dabbled in skiing or snowboarding, but they seemed like they could potentially maybe exchange numbers on their date.
Maybe they could.
Yeah.
Maybe there could be a love connection.
And they were kind of cute together.
Yeah, I thought so too. Actually, I thought that one out of all of the connections might, in the crazy world of reality dating shows, might work out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So our second guy, Parker,
Yes.
his question.
Let's just say you're number
My
one
guy.
guy. The second guy here, but her number one guy.
Yeah. What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
And I do think that Shannon's answer was interesting. It's like she's like, I drove to Vegas to be a cocktail waitress and party and have a fun life, and it was interesting. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, in the scope of things, I forget where she's originally from, but that could be a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I moved across the country from the Midwest to come to LA, so
that's
that was,
big.
I mean, that was a huge risk for me.
Yeah.
But going to Vegas, I guess, is a little bit less of a risk.
Yeah. Well, those cocktail waitresses make a lot of money.
They make so much money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you can get it, supposedly it's pretty competitive.
Really?
That's what I've heard. Yeah. They're tough to get. I have a friend who
Props
worked
to
there, and
Shannon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know it seems like a tough job. I don't know if I could do it, but
Yeah.
but they make good money.
Yeah.
So.
And then Becky,
She's the one who has a twin.
Yeah, she said that she started college with her twin sister, and after 2 years she transferred, and that was really tough for her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That was an interesting answer.
yeah, I mean, props to her. I don't have a twin, so I don't know if I could compare that to anything. I'm sure it's tough to.
I would think so. Twins are
cut
very
the cord.
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 2 younger sisters who are really close in age, and we live even today, 5 minutes away from each other. But I can understand that.
Yeah.
It was kind of a serious, like, not really fun answer, but I get it, how it would be a risk.
Yeah. Well, he ended up choosing Shannon.
I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised?
Me neither. I thought she was a standout from the beginning.
get-go,
So yeah.
I do too. I think he had his eye on her right from the beginning.
I mean, how could you not with that bright yellow dress? Like, it's
yeah.
anywhere in the room, it's almost like something shiny. Like your eye just gravitates towards it. Which, anyways,
You need to go out and get yourself a bright yellow dress. You've mentioned it like half a dozen times. Let's get you a bright yellow dress. You need to wear one next week, okay?
yeah. And then we had our third guy, and
Psycho Mike.
Psycho Mike. He asked the question, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given in your love life?
Yeah, best piece of love advice.
Yes.
And who gave it to you? And what did you think of the answers?
I mean, they both said their parents. Megan said her mother, and Kiana said her dad.
Father.
And I was actually surprised by Kiana's answer, how she said to never
Rely on
a
anybody.
guy.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was actually for this, very short 10 seconds she was talking. I think she gave a very insightful and a very concise answer.
Yeah.
She actually seemed pretty smart.
Yeah. And then he ended up choosing her.
Yeah, he did.
Because of that answer, maybe?
Well, no, he said, what did he say?
He quoted the famous rapper Tupac.
Yes.
And said, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yep.
And picked her up, and
yes.
the rest is history.
Yes.
So our last guy, really quickly,
Joe Jonas.
was Joe Jonas, and he said his question was, what is the most important thing you've ever made a commitment to? And what did you think of the girls' answers?
I mean,
Kimberly
it was
and
obvious
Latika?
Latika was going to say her virginity and her family. And
That was kind of two answers.
yeah, it was.
My virginity and my family.
Yeah.
Like,
And Kimberly's answer was very serious as well. It sounds like they have some, things at home where she ends up taking care of her siblings and all that. That was a nice kind
well, she said she took care of her siblings, and I thought she was going to say something about not having a mom, and then she's like, with my mom.
Yeah. Sounds like the dad's out of the
Oh,
picture.
okay.
Yeah. But it was a very serious, but it was like, oh, wow. Okay. These girls are like, they have like things going on, and they're not just like little talking heads in dresses.
And then he ended up choosing
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually thought he was going to go with Latika.
Yeah, me too.
I totally thought that. That threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, we are going to jump to a commercial break real quick and then come back and talk about these love connections, possible love connections.
Yes.
And then give you a little scoop on who's going to be the celebrity judges for next week.
Woohoo.
Hey guys, so what do you get when 3 real single ladies are super fans of VH1 Single Ladies? Well, you get the after show on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Lauren Turner. I'm Spicy Mighty, bringing you that fire. And I'm Fallon Mercedes. And we're single ladies, so make sure you watch us on AfterBuzz TV. We're all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Hey guys, this is the AfterBuzz TV crew for The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Woo! Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 8 p.m. to see
Adrienne Barrow,
Deanna Vaughn,
Susan Hahn, Giselle Ugardi.
Buzz you later!
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
And we're back.
Hello.
Talking about The Choice episode 2. So, Erika, what do you think about these connections that the guys made this week?
I do think that Seth seemed like he had somewhat of a connection with his girl Blair.
With Blair.
They seem like that could be an interesting connection, and actually Shannon and Parker. He seemed really attracted to her.
Yeah.
And
Man.
oh,
No, it's okay.
Oh, well, maybe he'll see you here, Kathy.
I know. Right?
I want to go on a date with her. I know. It'll be a real date, not
The
just a date of
AfterBuzz
taking
love
pictures.
connection, right?
That would be cool.
Found
huh?
love on AfterBuzz TV.
Yes, yes.
But anyways, I think now we kind of get a more of an idea of what these dates are like and realize that they're not
Real dates.
substantial.
Yeah. I
So.
guess that's a way of putting it. Yeah.
We know that, Seth and Blair aren't going to go snowboarding together, or
No.
I mean, last week I had high hopes that some of the guys were going to
Pull out all the stops,
I
but it just
know.
looks like they're almost like that what's that dating show, Blind Date?
Yeah.
Where they go on these silly little dates like, go-kart racing or painting pottery or just silly things like that, making pizza.
Yeah. So, predictions real fast.
Okay.
I'm going to ask
And
you.
now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We're just going to go down the line and say yes or no to who we think's going to get a number, at least. I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest connection that some of these dates have had so far.
Yes.
So
that, yeah.
So you already said Seth and Blair.
I think Seth, and my vote would be Seth and Parker.
Seth and Parker.
No, I mean those two guys will have a connection with their girls. Yeah.
Seth and Parker.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Seth and Parker, you think will walk away with a number,
maybe,
perhaps.
Yeah. What about you, Cathy?
I really don't think that Joe Jonas is going to find his future wife, especially with his track record.
Yeah,
shall we say?
I don't think so either.
Even if he does get a number from Kimberly, he might just dump her via text. And then Kimberly will write a song about it.
Yeah. She'll write a poem.
Wah, wah. And then who was the other?
Psycho Mike.
Psycho Mike and Keanu. I mean, I don't know Psycho Mike, so I can't say.
I think Psycho Mike
they're good.
they might exchange kisses and a little bit more than that, maybe, knowing Psycho Mike, but he might ask for her number and not call her later.
Yeah. Or maybe he'd call her for a booty call.
Maybe. I don't know what kind of girl she is, though.
Yeah. Well,
who knows? And I also predict that next week, the guys will probably base him off of looks as well.
You think?
That's a prediction I think I'm comfortable giving. Yeah. What about you? Any other predictions beyond just the dates themselves or the show?
I think the girls that wear the brighter the color will
like yellow
get
dresses.
more attention. Yeah.
I think you're like, maybe there is something about that yellow dress. She got the attention of Parker.
I know. So, I just need to go out and buy a really bright yellow. Like,
we're gonna see Cathy at the mall tomorrow, and like
exactly
picking up a yellow dress.
Yeah. So we know next week that there are going to be 4 guys again.
Yes.
And on next week's episode, the first one is Rob Kardashian.
Okay.
Familiar with him?
Yes.
Yeah, from the Kardashian clan. Vanessa Mitchell, who's a comedian.
Okay.
Rob Gronkowski, who is an NFL player for the Patriots.
Oh, another athlete.
Yes. And Steven Lopez, who was in the Olympics. Yes. I think we're seeing a trend here.
Well, I mean, the Olympics are coming up.
Yes.
So it kind of, even though it's not the, the last couple guys were Winter Olympics, but still it's kind of that trend right now.
Yeah. Well, he's an Olympic medalist. I don't know on what sport, but we will find that out. And,
yes, sure we'll find that out.
I mean, there are a lot of Olympians, so.
Yeah. That's great. I think that's an attractive trait in a guy for sure. Having a gold medal?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah. Well, that is all for this week's after show for The Choice. And Erika, if people want to find you, how can they do that?
Well, they can actually go to my website. I have a clothing line, and you can reach me there, and it's rallybabe.com.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, you can also find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. Love to tweet you all week and talk about the show.
Awesome.
So catch you next week for another episode of AfterBuzz TV to recap The Choice.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.